We trying to behave ourselves on the story? Well, y'all know what we thinking right now.
I'm ready for the night. I got a little extra energy. I don't know what might come out of my mouth tonight.
Hide your kids. Tell them go sit their bad asses down so we're grown folks in here talking.
TGIF.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Claudia Jordan. It's Friday. I'm back with a brand new episode of TGIF. Like always, we're here to spill the tea and break down some of the biggest headlines in the news and on social media. So sit back, relax, and get yourself something to drink and get ready for this hot tea we about to spill. Please welcome a co-host, brand strategist with his titties out, Al Reynolds. What's up, Dolly Parton?
What's going on, Claudia?
Got the breasts out tonight, huh?
I don't have anything clean in this house.
I'm cute. Would that be feeling fishy?
Yeah, he feeling fishy.
Feeling fishy.
Feeling real fishy.
And please welcome a multimedia personality and talk show host, Funky Dineva. Are you feeling fishy?
Hey, I'm feeling fishy, and I'm feeling like my kid brother over here with this Oshkosh B'gosh jumper on.
What's going on with the outfit? Can we see it?
It's a jumper, you know.
What's going on over there?
You know.
He's giving us Green Mile. What's happening over there?
Full House on the Perry.
I'm gonna go and till my garden when I get off the line with y'all.
All right, I'm over here in some fake ass leather from Fashion Nova. I'm in New York. I had to testify in a trial today. How's everybody doing? And do y'all have a drink?
Definitely drinking.
I'm over here with my red cup. I'm doing water today, y'all. I'm trying to get on a hydration diet and change my life. So I'm over here drinking water.
Not me, Claudia. I'm doing tequila and ginger beer.
Al, do you believe Funky is really going to change his life? Because we've heard this before. Remember that one week that he wanted to get married? Remember he was in love with the Russian? Right. And remember he wanted to be a first lady?
All right. But wait a minute. Didn't he also say one of these nights he was going to stop drinking? That is stop. He's always at the bar.
I said I was going to transition to beer and wine.
Transition. You know what? When you tell us these grand plans, we're gonna just pray for you and just hope you can stay. You know what?
Please.
The intent is there.
Yes, please do.
All right. Well, I'm in a hotel and it's not as nice as the last hotel I was in, so there's no mini bar. So I'm drinking water tonight. Okay, so I'm gonna live vicariously through you. Let's jump into some hot topics. We got a lot of stuff to talk about now. Wendy Williams and her ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, are trending all over social media. Yesterday, Kevin Hunter surprised everyone when he went live to address his divorce from Wendy. He said, when it comes to my personal life of what the public has been able to see in real time, I take full accountability for my actions and understand how I might have hurt a lot of people. He continued with, I did hurt somebody. For that, I wish her nothing but the best and wellness and support. Al, what are your thoughts on some of the things that Kevin said? And were you shocked that he made that video?
Yeah, I was definitely really shocked. We haven't seen Kevin do blogs or interviews or anything like that in the past. So I'm kind of wondering what's the purpose and why he's doing it now. Why is he so boastful now? Or why is he talking so much now? I mean, is it because Wendy's money is tied up and she can't get any? Is that affecting him and his financial situation with Sabrina or whatever the young lady's name is? I'm just looking at it kind of side eye, because the more that's coming out of his camp and the more that's coming out of her camp, the more confused I am around everything that's going on and why.
Okay. Q, I know you have something to say about this one. What do you think?
I just wish everybody around her stopped talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish the brother, it's obvious she don't mess with that brother. I wish he would shut the hell up. And Kevin, who asked you for this? Like, don't nobody want this. You are the world's most hated man right now. As far as we concerned, you the reason she falling out. Allegedly back on that stuff, got her money all sold up at Wells Fargo. The lady they say that woman can't even go down to Starbucks and get her a mocha frappuccino and a damn cheese Danish because Wells Fargo got her money so damn sold up, Kevin. And it's all your damn fault. We don't want to hear from you. Go back to that 2-bit second-rate ass Sharina Hudson and raise that bald-headed ass daughter of y'all's and stop getting on the media talking about Wendy. Y'all are making it worse. Like, Wendy is in the headlines every doggone week, and it's for reasons outside of her own doing. Somebody's always talking. Somebody's always revealing her financial status. Somebody's always violating HIPAA rules and telling all this lady health business. I think the best thing that you can do, considering the fact that you hurt this woman the way you did, is just make her life easier by going and stay shut in with Sharina.
Speaking of violating HIPAA laws, did you just say?
Are you getting ready to sing?
Did you just say that the baby was bald-headed?
Yeah, and I ain't even seen her. But her parents ain't shit, so I know she bald-headed, because that's how God punish people. When you ain't nothing, he give you bald-headed little children. And she gonna need braces by the second grade.
We can't talk about kids now. We can't talk about
Can I
talk about the kids?
Can I jump in on this about talking about kids? I have this argument with my friends. Why can't we talk about kids?
Right.
Kids are just miniature people that we're gonna talk trash about when they get older. They the prequel. Why can't we talk about kids?
It ain't like she watching this program anyway.
So you can't talk about the elderly. You can't talk about kids. Come on.
So the middle-aged people, we fair game.
If y'all ain't figure it out right now, I ain't got no morals or no values.
We know that's right.
I don't. Yeah, I talk about kids. We were all kids at one point. Anyways, let's move on. This no good could come of this segment. On the same day, Wendy Williams also went live on Instagram and spoke about the alleged issue she's having with her former manager and her financial advisor. Now, in her Instagram video, she said, "My thing is that I've been asking questions about my money. And when I begin asking questions about my money, suddenly my financial advisor I got no response regarding my money. I want my money. This is not fair." Now, what did you take about everything that's happening with her show being, going away, and then all this stuff with the money? Is it all tied in? Al, is it all tied in? I know you're the conspiracy guy. Is it all tied in together?
Let me tell you something. This has just really disturbed me. I mean, just the whole Wells Fargo thing, how it's unfolded, is very, very disturbing. So I started Googling, going down this rabbit hole. I wanted to piece together her behavior, and I wanted to match it with the incidents that are going on to figure out what is exactly going on with Wendy Williams. And so I'm like you. I don't think it's Graves' disease. I don't think it's dementia. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it's drug use. I think I'm smelling a little bit of a nervous breakdown meets a mental breakdown meets or married to a psychotic break. And let me tell you why I say that. Because when you examine a psychotic break in someone, they lose touch with reality. They experience stuff like hallucination and delusion. And from this, the more that Wendy is starting to talk and do these types of things on Twitter and Instagram, she is exhibiting to me someone who has gone through a psychotic break.
Okay. And of course, we're not doctors here at Fox Soul, so we're just giving our opinions before y'all get in the comments and say that's not, And
Claudia, this coming from somebody who ain't even got 2 community credit hours in medicine. Al gave this woman a whole doggone
diagnosis, right?
You know what I'm saying? So Claudia, I got 2 schools of thoughts, right? The first thing I want to say is it has to feel like the ultimate violation that somebody is in control of your stuff and like you just want your money. Like I could not imagine the level of vulnerability, how vulnerable I would feel and how violated I would feel. I can't even go to the ATM and get out $20, right? But the second thing about it is Wells Fargo is a big old organization. And I know you can't just call down there and be like, Claudia Jordan acting crazy, freeze her account, and boom, they just gonna freeze millions of dollars.
Right.
I know that there has to be protocols and litmus tests in order for them to do something like this. And Wendy apparently had to have checked all the boxes necessary for them to do what it is they did. So something definitely happened. And I told y'all on the previous episode, I think that heifer called that 1-800 number and tried to transfer something out of an account that didn't exist. And then people realized, like Al diagnosed, that she was out of touch with reality.
I'm gonna say this.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not doubting that may or may not be the case, but I'm gonna say this. I just think there's an inconsistency when it comes to men and women. You know, like we've seen a lot of these men acting all kinds of crazy, these rappers and singers and all kinds of stuff. And you never really hear this, but with Wendy, with Brittany, they're quick to put a freeze on their accounts. And as a lady here, I have to say, I just would like them to keep the same energy across the board, because we've seen some of our favorite male entertainers do far more public displays of craziness, allegedly, and we don't hear about this. I don't know. That's just a point I want to bring up.
But y'all spend more money than us, and y'all spend y'all money on stupid stuff like $12 wigs and spider eyelashes and fish pedicures.
Hold up. Y'all spend your money on child support for women you don't know. Kristen Thompson. Future.
But that's necessary. That's for the sustainability of a life. And y'all with them $1,200 wigs is messing up the sustainability of the planet, because it takes a whole lot of horses.
Oh, okay.
Wig. I'm just saying. Because all that hair not human hair.
Wait, don't you wear wigs?
No, I changed my life. I gave my life to God. I've been
First of all, what we're not about to do is start lying on this good hair internet here. I'm Beyonce.
What you not gonna do?
Listen, this is now award-winning TGIF, so the lies have got to stop. We ain't gonna be lying on the show. Hey, y'all, did y'all hear about this story? There's a viral video going around. Wait, Al, you said your point?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a video of R. Kelly allegedly singing to an inmate's daughter.
The church choir. I told y'all.
You did?
The jailhouse choir.
Jailhouse Records. So over the phone. Now, unfortunately, we can't show the video due to legal reasons. What are your thoughts on the story? Now, Q, I do recall you saying that all these brothers in jail should get together and start the jailhouse choir, and they can make that money to put in their books. Do you still hold that position?
Apparently, they must watch TGIF, and this was the first step to get it passed through the warden. What they're doing is testing the market to see if there's a demand for this type of thing. And as we can see, you know, I know I'm making a joke right now, and I don't want my joke to be misconstrued as not having sympathy for the victims, because I can have sympathy for the victims and still yearn for R. Kelly's music. And I do. Like, R. Kelly has been so sold up in this stuff right now that we've missed 5-6 years of new music from R. Kelly, and where the current R&B landscape is right now, it would have been great to have had some hits from him. So, you know, I'm glad that he's able to bring somebody else joy. And let's not forget, he also was able to send a message to Tyrese. I think he sent it through a carrier pigeon or through a message in the bottle or something when Tyrese's mama had passed. So R. Kelly is definitely saying, I know I'm not finna get out of here soon, so let me just figure out ways to communicate with the outside world and make this album come to fruition.
Al, should R. Kelly, as the brand strategist, is it a good idea for R. Kelly to be singing to a young girl?
Exactly. Exactly, Claudia. That's
that
what I was
went over my head.
I mean, aren't you in jail for
That part went completely over
straight over your head. Anyway, Claudia, let me tell you, I gotta disagree with you on this one. I think this is sick. I think that woman knows exactly why R. Kelly is spending the rest of his life in jail for sex trafficking, for sexual assault, sexual deviance, pedophilia, rape, all of these things. This Black woman is still out here supporting him and posting it on her social media and bragging about it. I think it's very sad that he's singing to a Black woman, and a Black woman is proud about it. I mean, he has taken advantage of little girls, little boys. He's held them against their will. He's raped them. He's beat some of them. This is unacceptable.
Didn't they say he made people eat doo-doo?
Right.
Now, he ain't making no grown people do that. See, this is where I draw the line now. I ain't R. Kelly. Oh, well, you know what, Chloe? We got to go. Let me just stop while we're here.
You know what? Here at TGIF, we cover the hard-hitting topics, and we break down the important facts of the case. So if we have time, we may come back to whether or not he did make people eat doo-doo or not. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. We'll be back with more after this. Welcome back to TGIF. Shout out to all the soulmates watching us in the chat. What's up, everybody? What's up to all our new viewers checking in tonight? All right, y'all. The 3-week rule may be the best financial advice ever. Now, what's the 3-week rule? Well, wait 3 weeks to buy that new car, wait 3 weeks to refinance that home mortgage, and wait 3 weeks to finance any major purchase. Now, why 3 weeks? Well, because that's how fast the average ScoreMaster user takes to boost his or her credit score, an average of 61 points. Now, listen, 61 points added to your credit score can save you tens of thousands of dollars on anything we finance. ScoreMaster technology was developed by credit data scientists to boost your credit score higher and faster than you thought possible. Now, ScoreMaster is so easy. It takes about a minute to get started, and you don't have to wait months for your best credit score. Look, try ScoreMaster for free and see how many points you can add to your credit score. Go to scoremaster.com/T. That's scoremaster.com/T. Again, scoremaster.com/T. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with more of the tea you came here for when we return. Hey guys, welcome back to TGIF. Soulmates in the chat. Thank you so much. Let's read some of the comments. Let's see. The real Renato says, y'all got Jimena again to teach us. Queen of the South says, my sister Claudia is always gorgeous. Our dog says, I low-key have been impressed with Funky not drinking the last few shows. He is growing.
Uh-oh.
And that's so Crystal says, I love Wednesday and Fridays. TGIF people, can we get a Monday show too?
I want to know what the hell it is he's trying to imply.
We're all concerned. Shit.
It is weird. It is weird.
No, don't cry for me, Argentina. I'm fine.
Funky, you got to admit, it is. I mean, you were known for your Publix lemonade and your drinks, your liquor. And now, like, you on this clean thing. And
I
you know
changed for the better and y'all concerned. Y'all should be applauding me.
We're being
I changed for the better and y'all concerned.
Imagine if Kodak Black started speaking properly.
And
that
ain't what we signed up for.
No, we proud of you. We proud of you.
But real talk, I really am working towards just trying to live a healthier lifestyle. Like my people in my family have, as they got older, developed health issues, and I always think back, if they would have caught it when they were 38, like I am, it would have gotten to where it is when they're now 60. And that's just the only thing that's going through my mind. Like, start preparing your body now for 60.
Well, we will support you as long as you're on this train. We will. I have relatives too that I went to visit in the hospital later on in their lives, and I saw their feet, like, toes that had to get cut off because of diabetes, because of drinking. And it's like, this is the time where we can stop that.
Right.
Well, I'm sure when we all get together in Miami, it's going to be the turn up as usual. So we'll see how long this lasts. But I'm proud of you this week. How about that?
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Okay. All right. Speaking of being off the chain, last week, things got heated after Amber Ali, a cast member from Jocelyn's Cabaret, took to social media and claimed she was attacked by Jocelyn Hernandez and her fiance Ballistic Beats while filming the show's reunion. And it looks like Amber and some of the other women from the show are gearing up to file a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against Jocelyn, Ballistic, and Zeus Network. What are your thoughts? And did y'all see this one coming? Whoever wants to go first on this one.
They should. And I think Jocelyn's subsequent tweets after the altercation happened are not going to serve them, even down to the tweet where she said, something to the effect of, you can't, when you sign up for reality TV, you can't sue the people you work with, dummies, or something like that. She put, but there's always loopholes and laws. And if you're around here pulling out people's scalp, and if that fight was as graphic as people described it was, I'm pretty sure there's no piece of paper that they signed with you and or Zeus that will keep some type of legal ramifications from coming back on you for what it is you did. And maybe this is the wake-up call. And like I said, I am very proud of the fact that we got a Black brother that has built a network that and it's profitable and he's getting shine. But to be quite frankly, brother, you built your network on trash. You built your network on trash, and you set our culture, as far as I'm concerned, with all those pieces of programming, you set us backwards. So maybe this is the chain of events needed for Zeus to take a small shift in direction. Like, you can get equally high rated content without letting them people fight the way they fight. And I want to point out one last thing. With all the other reality TV shows, the minute the cast members get up and get ready to fight, security instantly runs in. You can tell with the Zeus Network shows, there's some type of mandate or rule that says, let them fight for a solid 10 or 15 seconds, or let them make contact first before y'all go break it up, because security just be standing there while they be going to blows. And I just don't think that's appropriate, nor should we be glorifying it or rewarding people for that behavior.
Claudia took a sip. Well, I'm gonna tell you, I said it last week. No, or was it, or what, last week? I think, I said it last week, that this was gonna happen. And this is exactly what's happening. The sad part is it's just lack of smarts across the board. As a talent, for Joseline and Ballistic to be putting their hands on the cast members is just wrong. You're opening yourself up for liability. As a Zeus, as the network, as the president of that network, you may get the ratings, but you also have opened your entire network and yourself and your family up to a liability of people suing you and your network, which they can take all that money that you've made. We know to date that there's a law firm out there that has taken on 6 of the cast members involved in this particular cast. They've come together and they all are suing Zeus Network for in excess of $30 million. Now, what we also know in this case, Zeus Network, there are a group of young men. Andrew Caldwell has also solicited this exact same law firm from the show The Bad Boys to sue the Zeus Network for liability, negligent supervision. I just don't think that this quick uptake of content by selling fighting and violence and ignorance is worth the liability of the lawsuit that could shut your network down.
I'm going to say this, and I agree with both of you. I totally understand the business side, although I don't agree with it morally, with having this kind of shock gutter TV out the gate, get the eyeballs, create the buzz, boom. Guess what, Zeus? You got it. You have it already to the point where you have subscribers, you have a loyal fan base. So at some point you got to pivot. And we got you on the hook. So now we got you on. So now let's try to change it. And I know that doesn't happen overnight because half of those people are there for that, right? So they might not come with you. But again, we've had him on, Mr. Plummer, on the show on Cocktails. And I did ask him about that. I go, I understand how it started, but do you plan on shifting and creating some balance? And he said, yes. I just wish that they would do more of that before this happened, because now this is all that we think of. And what do you think when you take someone like an explosive personality like a Joseline Hernandez and feed them more ego? Her ego is on 1,000 now. She was already like that. And you provide a platform where she's bullying these women and being extremely. Imagine if that was a man talking to other women on a show like that. It would never happen, first of all. Or could you imagine, like the way that show is just so, I don't even know why anyone would sign up to be a contestant on there. What do you get out of it? Does it help you get on? You're humiliated. They talk about your abortions and all kinds of things. And I have a wicked sense of humor, but goddamn, double homicide and all that.
Like I told you, I went to the show. There's no cabaret. It's not even a cabaret. Like it would be totally different if like you won and then she's doing like a 20-city tour and you know you're being seen and you end up in music. There's no cabaret. It's a contest to nothing.
And I see people in comments saying, but Claudia, you hosted a reunion. I certainly did. I hosted the reunion. I tried to get to the bottom of things. I waited 8 hours in the dressing room before we even got on set because they were fighting. And then once we got on set, I kept trying to get them to answer questions. It was damn near impossible because by the time we get on there, it's all about that. The reunion to them is I'm coming to whip your ass. I'm not coming to answer questions. I'm not coming to answer. And no, and that demographic wants that though. They don't really want to hear the answers. They want to see the fights.
You know, what he should do? What would be interesting reality TV? Like, if that's what it's going to be, make it safe. So instead of showing up and spending 8 hours in glam and makeup, how about they just have them all stand around in a boxing ring with boxing gloves on and the host be the referee. And when they get to fighting and carrying on, at least it's entertaining in that regard and everybody's safe. You know what I'm saying? Like
some of these networks are taking advantage of these fights. Like there's a lot of celebrity fights. I know Mimi told me some people reach out to her about fighting like rivals from shows. And I know, speaking of, there's a celebrity boxing match tomorrow with Al B. Shore in Atlantic City. I almost want to go see it, but
I'll be sure against who.
I don't know. I said it should be Christopher Williams, but they said he just got out of a coma a little while ago, so it ain't gonna be him. It's gonna be somebody else. So I don't know. Okay. Anyways, that was bad. Okay. It seems like Jocelyn is unbothered after tweeting. They say my music wasn't gonna do well. I'm on tour. After Love and Hip Hop, they said I was dead. I'm more alive than a 3-year-old. Thoughts?
I guess I was at the first stop. I guess I must have been at the first leg of the tour, the first opening night number, and it was at Taboo Strip Club, which used to be an old adult bookstore where I used to.
Not at a bookstore. Did it have a peephole?
Yeah, that's what it used to be. That's what the place used to be. And I know it because I used to hunch this Puerto Rican in one of them. We would go put $5 in the thing to keep the porno on for like 30 minutes, and we would hunch in the booth. So it's so funny. When we pulled up to the thing, I was like, "Oh, I've been."
What type of hunching?
Q.
Huh?
My grandmother, bless her heart, Lillian Jordan, she used to tell me that I should get a Puerto Rican because they're nasty and they'll put their mouth on anything. Now that is what my grandmother said. And I don't know how she is. This true? And I don't mean to generalize an entire state, U.S. territory, but are they freakier than most?
Well, obviously, me and that one was in a bookstore in a stall. So I mean, that's pretty freaky in itself. You know, sticking $5 in the thing at a time to keep the porno on long enough for us to finish. So that was pretty freaky. And y'all don't judge me. I was young. I was in my early 20s. I was fresh out of college.
10 years ago.
I didn't know no better. But this ain't about me. This is about her tour being in an old XXX bookstore. If that's what you call on tour, then okay.
Al, would you go to the Jocelyn Cabaret tour?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. Depending on, I wouldn't make it an event to go to. But if it was in town and I didn't have anything else to do, I might go. I don't know.
I didn't go on purpose. Okay. And it was on a Tuesday. We was eating. I have a standing Tuesday appointment, a standing Tuesday dinner with a certain group of friends at the Italian restaurant with the rich Jewish people on Miami Beach. Y'all know I'm trying to find me a rich Jewish man with a boat. A whole other story for a whole other show. And James Knox happened to be with me. And he was like, "You want to go to Taboo after this?" I'm like, "It's Tuesday. Why would I want to go to the club on Tuesday? No." And he was like, "Come on, it's Jocelyn's Cabaret." I was like, "James, no." And we got out of dinner at like 9:00. And I said, "Listen, James, I don't want to be out to 2:00, 3:00 in the morning. And it's 9:00 now. I know she's not going on at 10. And he talking about, "Well, come on, we just going to go for an hour. And if she don't come on in an hour, we going to leave." Needless to say, we didn't leave till about 3:00 in the damn morning.
Honestly, I feel like Jocelyn after this season of Cabaret, she probably needs to take some time off from television. She needs a little bit of a break. But let me tell you what the real tea is around this, Claudia. When she made that post, did you see that For Us By Us Network commented on her post? I thought that was very interesting that another network would comment on something that she said about her show on Zeus. Do you think that if Zeus drops her, something that she may end up at For Us By Us?
They be commenting on a lot of people's stuff.
Okay.
They're new on the block. Before we go to break real quick, Al, I got to ask you, who would you rather see at Jocelyn's Cabaret, Jocelyn or her fiance, Ballistic? Who's sexier to you?
Ooh,
Our resident bisexual, you should be able to, you know.
I would say, I think I probably said this before. Didn't I say I want to see them both? Didn't I say I would love to be in the bedroom? Did I? Maybe. Didn't I say I would like to be a fly on the wall? Okay. I think sexually and physically, they're very attractive. Her body's amazing. You know, I mean, he gives me a tad bit of Dominican vibes. I don't know if he is or not. But yeah, I think that's a hot couple.
Okay. On that note, we're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be back with more TGIF after this. Welcome back to TGIF. Now, soulmates, if you like the show, you like what you see and like what you hear, I'm going to need you to go ahead and hit that like button in the live chat and give us our flowers, okay? Hook us up. It means something for us. All right, y'all. Soulmates, I have an incredible app for everyone that purchases gas, and it's called Get Upside. Now, you can literally earn cash back for every gallon of gas every time you fill up, and it's not just for gas. You can earn up to 30% cash back at grocery stores, restaurants, and takeout too. You can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or as an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Now, the steps are simple. Just download the free Get Upside app and in the App Store or Google Play right now. Use promo code T for 25 cents per gallon or more on your first fill up, cash back. Okay. Don't pay full price at the pump anymore. Get cash back using Get Upside. Download the app for free and use promo code T for 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. And you can use my promo code T now. Once again, that's code T. Okay, y'all. I promise you way more tea, way more mess, way more gossip, and way more reads when we come back from this quick commercial break. Welcome back to TGIF. We got all the business out of the way. So now you'll get 21 minutes of uninterrupted tea for the rest of the show. Give me some flames and thumbs up in the chat if you happy about that. We about to go in on this. All right, y'all. Let's start with this gay dog. I had a gay cat one time. We'll get into that. You won't believe the story. I did. Oh, he was a pedophile too. A dog in North Carolina was abandoned and sent to an animal shelter because its owner thought the dog was gay. The owner thought his male dog, Fezco, humping another male hound, which is something that dogs often do to, assert their dominance. But on the bright side, Fezco was adopted by Steve Nichols and his partner, John, who said they had an automatic connection with the dog because being part of the LGBTQ plus community, they faced discrimination as well. So they related to the gay dog being, kind of cast aside. Don't y'all love a happy ending about this dog and this couple? What do y'all think about this heartwarming tale?
This story is so doggone silly, and people can be so doggone ignorant. And the only thing I don't even want to turn this into, go down this whole rabbit hole of LGBTQ justice. But just imagine if somebody was this ignorant about a dog, how he actually feels about people and how he probably goes through life treating people. Like that was the one takeaway for me from this story. If you had that much disdain for an animal who's at the end of the day, sexuality really don't affect you one way or another, then like you got to lay up with the dog. Imagine how much, disdain he's carrying in his heart for gay people.
Right. I feel you. Al, what do you think about this dog?
I thought it was sad, but I'm gonna be messy right here. Can we talk about or take a poll for my soulmates? What color do we think the dog owner who surrendered the dog was?
Black.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. Because we're so homophobic. Even those of us that are gay are still, I ain't gay. We're so conflicted.
It was giving me white hillbilly tease.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking. I
have to be honest. I probably would go side with Claudia. I thought maybe it was a black dog owner.
In the chat, let's gay or straight. No, I'm sorry, white or black. Right? I'm sorry, right. White or black. What do you think the color of the owner was that surrendered the dog? I had a gay cat one time. My other cat had kittens, and the gay cat, he would go under the nightstand, the dresser, and pull out only the boy kittens, and he would like lick them between their legs, and he would leave the girl kittens alone. And at first I was like, this is just a coincidence, but he just kept only dealing with the boy cats.
Maybe with the cat grooming them only the way he knew that he could.
No, actually, Claudia, in certain cultures, the male son is relieved. Like when he cries, the mother or the nanny is to give the little baby a blowjob in a certain culture in the world.
What culture is this?
I say that, let the soulmates see if they can figure it out in the chat. But yeah,
so there's a culture where moms are giving their sons blowjobs to calm their nerves,
or moms, or what do you want? The caretaker, the mothers, the grandmothers, when the male child is being fussy, and they're not able to calm him down. The caretaker or the mother gives the child a blowjob.
Listen, when I went to Florida State University and got my degree, them people ain't teach me nothing about raising no babies. But are babies even able to experience sexual arousal at that age?
I think it is a different type of arousal, but sensation, I'm sure it's still a child, it's still a part of their body. I think the sensation of the area could be very soothing. I mean, I know that when I get, oral sex, it's very relaxing to me.
My grandma from the country, and she used to put me over her knee and shake her knee and pat me on the back, and that was sensation enough to calm me down. I'm not understanding any of that. I don't want to understand it, and that's one
If I gotta give my male son a blowjob to calm him down, motherhood's not for me. I'm not sucking a little baby dang to calm him down.
And then
you've never sucked a baby dang before? Not a baby thing, but a baby thing.
Yeah, once. But he was 36. All right, y'all. We gotta get out of this segment.
Q, you gonna let her out for that?
This whole thing is just disgusting.
He wasn't Puerto Rican. Q, he wasn't Puerto Rican. Okay. Anyways, how did we get here?
Was he white?
No.
Oh.
No.
Move on.
Do I really want to go into the Judge Ketanji the Brown Jackson story? I mean, it's not really a fair transition. Let me wait a second. Let the air clear a little second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Switching gears. Here's some more good news. Judge Ketanji, am I saying it right? Brown Jackson was moved to tears.
She's from Miami. Ketanji,
my bad. Okay. Ketanji Brown Jackson was moved to tears by Cory Booker's remarks, during her Supreme Court confirmation hearing. Let's take a listen at this. This is Q's favorite senator.
You have earned this spot. You are worthy. You are a great American. That is the story of how you got to this desk. And so you faced insults here that were shocking to me. Well, actually not shocking. But you are here because of that kind of love.
So what are your thoughts on what Cory said to Brown Jackson? I saw everybody retweeting this on their Instagrams. And can you believe the question that, she was bombarded with from the Republicans? Al?
Listen, I thought it was great. I mean, that speech that Cory gave brought me to tears, to be honest. I just felt the passion because I could see the weight, all that weight that she carried for being in that position. I think what he said, all of her supporters needed to hear. I think, what's her name? Ketanji needed to hear it. I think the senators that were there needed to hear it. I think the Americans watching needed to hear that. And I think the world needed to hear that, because here we have a overqualified African-American female who has every box checked for qualifying for that job. And they tried to discredit her down to the last hour. I think it's despicable. And the way he spoke not only lifted her up in that room, but me, for the first time in a long time since Kamala Harris being the first African-American vice president, lifted me up as a Black American. I thought it was amazing, and the experience to me will go down in history every time we think about this woman and the decisions that she's going to make as a Supreme Court justice.
Okay. I loved what he had to say. Q, how do you feel about this?
I totally agree with everything Cory Booker had to say. It definitely was moving. And I definitely think after being beaten down all day, the way that woman was, because I know she was probably crying on the inside. that she probably just needed to hear those words of affirmation from him in that moment, because it is very hard to be on the world stage and to really want to tell people to stick it where the sun don't shine, but you have to sit there with a smile on your face and just take it and take it and take it and show resilience. She definitely needed that. But I want to point out one thing. Like I said earlier, like I've said on a lot of previous shows, Donald Trump has ushered in a new style of politics with, riling up his base. And one thing that I give the Republicans credit for, they stay on message. Mm-hmm. They stay on brand. Okay. They don't give a damn what the agenda, they don't give a damn what the occasion is. They're going to push that trans stuff. They're going to push that anti-gay stuff. They're going to push that no critical race theory stuff. And those were all the angles they were trying to attack that woman from and get her choked up. And she was smart enough and brilliant enough to not fall for any of it. So I salute her.
I'm going to say this, we are quick to point out when someone, doesn't abide by the Protect Black Women or the Protect Black Man movement. And this was a beautiful, beautiful moment between two Black people in America that know the stresses of coming up under fire from this right-wing wacko, race-based attacks, because you can't attack her character and you cannot attack her record. She's more qualified than all the justices combined. I believe she has more experience in a trial, I believe. All these graphs are coming out about her trial. You see all the boxes were checked for her. And Amy Coney Barrett had 2 boxes checked. And I feel like he said what needed to be said at that moment. So if we can complain about not being protective, we damn sure should give the same energy when someone actually does, and let him have his moment. Yeah, we know sometimes he be sounding fake. It's only because he light skin with no mustache. So sometimes we don't be taking it as seriously. And it's easy to discredit him oh, Corey. And I get it. He is theatrical. But I honestly do think that is Corey's heart. I think his delivery is his delivery, but I do believe that he really felt I think he meant what he said. And he saw a Black woman that was getting attacked from left and right. And he stepped up and he put his black arm, his beige arm around her and said, I got you. And I think he lightened the mood for her. And that tear that came down her cheek, I think he handled it perfectly. And I just wish Cory Booker would get more respect in the political circles, because I think he's a good guy. I really do. I do.
I think his heart is good. I think he's a bit inauthentic in his. Never mind. That's the whole.
I think he needs a brand strategist to make him get a mustache out.
I think he does. I think he does.
Because we don't take him seriously. A Black man with no mustache. I know this sounds so petty, but think about it. We just be like, he's soft. We shouldn't be like that, but I don't know. Why we?
In politics, so that's the look, right?
Yeah.
The whole no facial hair thing. So he's on brand as it relates to that, and it's so weird that in 2022 that's still a thing. You still have to have the wife, the kid, the look, whatever the look is.
So I don't want to take away from what we're talking about, but are we just going to ignore the fact that all of our most powerful Black women in America have white male husbands?
That's been floating around social media a lot over the last couple of days, and the question is that just coincidence and happenstance, or is it part of the formula? And I think that's something that we've got to figure out.
I like to offer an alternative perspective on this, because I've seen this. I was like, is that fair to them? I'm going to say this. A lot of times, and I think we discussed last week, I wasn't here, I wasn't on Cocktails, but we discussed the video that was going viral where a Black man said, when you get all these accomplishments and you're a boss and you're successful, we don't want you. So maybe those were their options. Look at Serena Williams. Look at Kamala Harris. There's a lot of them that they're not getting wiped up by the Black man once they're super assertive, aggressive. Right. I don't know.
Wait a second. I don't want to just stay there, because let's look at our most influential Black males in America. Clarence Thomas is married to a white woman. Robert Smith, the most wealthiest Black man in America, is married to a white woman. So we can't just say, a Black man said, when you get that, we don't want you. Black men in very powerful positions are electing not to be with Black women.
So maybe there's an argument across the board with us as a people that we equate that with some level of success.
Success? Is that like the ultimate success?
Or could it be proximity to whiteness is what helps you gain the power?
True. Did y'all see Clarence Thomas's wife, Jenny?
Child, he went and found the most basic. Let me tell you something.
She looks.
Talk about Mrs. Doubtfire on that one.
The most basic, pasty patty he could find. And I was trying to find something about this woman that would have suggested to me that back in the day she was a bad bee. But it was all I could find was bad body. That's all I could find. Like there's just nothing. And he's so proud to flaunt her around. And it's just like that lady.
They're giving me Django. They give me Steven from Django and Leonardo DiCaprio together with his arms wrapped around. Ugh. Can you imagine those two naked?
Who are we talking about?
Clarence Thomas and Jenny.
Thomas and Pasty Patty. Do you think he's going to resign as a result of her uncovered
nope.
text messages? He
didn't resign when Anita Hill said that there was a pubic hair. They had a conversation about the pubic hair on his Pepsi or his Coke. I think he's so arrogant and pompous, and he's getting too much money. I don't think he's going anywhere. He'll be forced.
Well, that's a retirement job right there. You basically work 1 hour a day, right?
Yeah,
pretty much. But let me ask you something. Now, his wife, she's the one, for those who don't know, soulmate, she's the one that used the N-word, right? Clarence Thomas' wife, old text messages, right, have been uncovered. Was it emails or text messages or something where she used the N-word, right?
I could see it. I do know that she funded a lot of the bus rides down to the insurrection on January 6th. She's just too dirty to have a husband that's a Supreme Court justice.
Right.
His responsibility is too big of a deal right now to have, this is your household. This is your partner, the person you share everything with. Jenny is an op, and she is a right wing all the way right, like radical, I believe. You've been traced to funding the insurrectionists getting to Washington, D.C.
That's right. That's what it was.
Where's the investigation on that? I mean, we're going to have to turn this up. I can't stand Clarence Thomas.
Which means if you lay with that, you are that.
You support that.
You are that.
And can you be a good judge if that's who you chose to marry? Your judgment's off.
They got to get what they can get now. Like he ain't no
Morris Chestnut himself, huh? Shout out to Morris Chestnut for getting a star on the Walk of Fame.
Oh, that's right. Congratulations.
I did. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I love that we're getting recognized younger and younger. Okay. Let's get into the story. Speaking of young, 21-year-old Janaea Tanae Webb of Eagleville was charged with third-degree murder, homicide by vehicle, while driving under the influence. Now, DUI and related charges in connection with the fatal crash that claimed the life of 2 Philadelphia state troopers and a pedestrian on Monday. Now, get this part of the story. Just before the fatal crash, state police pulls her over for driving at an accelerated rate, but let her go after they got a call about a pedestrian that was walking on I-95. So they let her go, and she was already driving fast. Webb went on her Instagram, her Twitter, about 12:45 a.m. and said, "Why the cop pull me and say I'm doing 100 miles per hour in a 50? She adds laughing emojis. Well, shortly after being let go, Webb was trying to pass the trooper's vehicle when she struck the 3 men at a high rate of speed, killing them. They let her go, and then she kills the same officer that pulled her over earlier. To make matters worse, in January, Webb tweeted that she was the best drunk driver ever. Al, what do you think about this?
Now, this is just crazy, right? This is insane. I mean, just this whole story is insane. But, it's sad to, number one, the officer that pulled her over got called to the guy who was walking on 95, went to go handle that. She followed behind him and killed all of them that was handling the I-95 walk, right? In addition to that, the other crazy part of this is her digital footprint. You young people have got to understand Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all of them are fun applications, but what you do on there can be used in the case of law. And in this case, this is not going to work well for her, as attorneys have already uncovered these tweets and are using that as defamation of character, and also to prove that this isn't a one-off for her, that this is something that she does on a regular basis, and this behavior needs to be thrown the ultimate crime, which we see is 3 counts of third degree, 3 counts of manslaughter, 3 counts of involuntary manslaughter, and simple counts of driving under the influence. This is super sad.
Q, we have a minute to go. Last minute goes to you. What do you think about this?
I mean, there's nothing to think. Life's over. Her life is just completely over. It's done. There's no way to excuse this away. And you know, I've been saying this for the longest, and I know this doesn't relate to what's going on in Miami with the Spring Breakers. But Black people, there's just a conversation we need to have about what is going on with our youth and their lack of good judgment. And there's definitely something going on, because I can look you, Claudia, in the face, Al, Claudia, in the face, and myself in the mirror, and know that at 21 years old, we wouldn't have been doing nothing like this.
And it's the bragging, the just being so cavalier. Oh, I'm the best drunk driver ever. Once upon a time when we were coming up in our teens, I feel like we were kind of like downplaying our bad. Now people shout it from the rooftops. Like I say all the time, it is a race to the bottom who could be the most gross, ignorant, and ridiculous.
Yeah. Her life is over.
Yeah. And she killed 3 people, and they had her right there in custody. All right, y'all, fantastic show. We will be back at it next Wednesday. I want to thank my fantastic co-host Al Reynolds and Funky Dineva for joining me tonight. And thanks for watching us on YouTube. Make sure you watch the replay tomorrow. Stick around. Fox Soul's Black Report is up next, and we'll see y'all next Wednesday. Have a great weekend, fellas.
Have a good night, soulmates.
Bye, everybody. Bye, soulmates.